Hello and welcome to a quick observation of the Golf GTD that I bought back in February. Now, this is actually Golf number 6. I've had two Mark 3s, two Mark 4s, a Mark 5 GT TDI and now this Mark 6 GTD that I'm not planning to keep. So I bought it back in February with an immobiliser fault, alleged immobiliser fault, and was aware of the problem that they often have with the clocks needing to be sent off for repair. But it wasn't that simple for me. I ended up diagnosing the gateway module thanks to a helpful YouTube comment, and now I have the car working. So back in 2016, this particular car was a category C write-off in January 2016. It has no history with it, and it's a strange one because it drives really well. It is very pleasant to drive, but obviously the history is missing. It went 9 months without an MOT in 2016 and apparently has 2 clean MOTs before I bought it. Now, I don't know how that's possible because the airbag light has been on since I got it, so I'm a bit dubious about the legitimacy of the MOTs that it's had. As you can see, it was fixed cheaply. It was in a frontal and someone has replaced the front end with a standard Golf front end and not the GTD spec bumper that you would usually get. The ride is incredibly comfortable. The tyres on this are 225 50 17, and as the two of my cars are running 19s and the other one is running 18-inch with run flats, I can't believe how comfortable this is. I also believe that this has been remapped. So I have also had a Passat, which was a PD 170, and this year of Golf GTD has a 170 brake CR version. So it's a later engine to the PD 170 that I had. And that was also remapped, allegedly, to 200 brake. Imagine this will be similar sort of remap. And they are quick. I mean, the 0 to 60 on standard one is 8.1 seconds. But the most impressive thing is the fact that you still get good fuel economy on these. I remember my Passat used to get over 60 miles per gallon and yet was incredibly fun to drive and shredded the front tyres much like this one does. This later engine is so much quieter than the earlier ones. Probably sound dreadful in the video, but I assure you this is a lot quieter than the earlier 2-litre TDIs. So quick observations, not a review. We have enough space for bottles in the front door cards and what's supposed to be 2 cup holders here. These aren't very good, they never were. I remember the Mark 4s had a sort of cassette that used to come out here. This style radio isn't standard on these. This is a touchscreen option. The standard has a smaller thing. And unfortunately no cup holders in the rear, and a very, very small door pocket. Not even the pop out cup holders that you sometimes get in armrests. Also, one thing that I wanted to mention about the pedals is the clutch pedal always seems really high. I always find it quite hard to press it, and you've got at least an inch of travel before it does anything. And when driving, it's not very comfortable on your ankle. It's a long way from the footrest up. Most cars you can pivot on the back of your heel, but on this I find that you have to actually lift your foot up. We've got the tartan cloth interior that's in pretty good nick. One thing I will note is the door pockets have this strange area at the back here, which if you put your phone in the door pocket, it will slide back into there. This is the same on both sides. I don't know if it's some sort of drug storage, considering what these cars end up being used for. This one actually did smell a little bit green when I got it. But otherwise, you know exactly what a Golf is, as they are the benchmark for the hatchback car, as we know it. So, after the gateway module, all I've had to do to get it through the MOT is replace the rear tyre, but obviously I replaced it with a matching pair. And front drop links, because the boot covers were loose, they weren't even split, and there wasn't actually anything wrong with the drop links, but they had to be replaced, and the horn wasn't working. There are a few advisories. I'm sure some people will check the MOT history and see that there's a few advisories on there. The one that I didn't really want to do, obviously due to the airbag light being on, you can see the piece of tape that I've had to put on here as the airbag light is on. Now, strangely enough, if the airbag light is on a car, it's an MOT failure. If the airbag light doesn't illuminate, so when you turn the ignition on, like this, you can't see that the airbag light's on. If it doesn't illuminate and is taped over like this, and even visibly taped over, this is just an advisory. So, go figure why that makes sense, but I had to do what I had to do. I paid too much for the car, and I won't be selling it on for a lot of money either. And obviously, as I'm being upfront in the video as well, I will be making sure that the listing and the new buyer knows that the airbag light has been deactivated. So thanks for listening to me ramble a little bit about this car. If you have any questions about this car, or like I said before, I've had the Mark III, Mark IV, Mark V and now the Mark 6. So if you have any questions regarding that, then please do leave a comment. Otherwise, if you're new, like and subscribe, and I hope you'll stick around for some more.